Video editing. One of the greatest art forms in my opinion, as you have so many options as of how to put together clips, audio, and effects just to create your ultimate vision for a product. And all of it takes place in one small bedroom. This is my story. So where else to start except for the beginning? My first experience with video editing is an interesting one, and it goes all the way back to 4th grade.
Hi, I'm Ethan, and to help the monarchs and increase their population.
This video just makes me cringe thinking about it. At this point, I had gotten one of my first school video projects, in which I was assigned to make a video about bees. Well, it being my first experience editing a video, it was bad. But at the very least, I got into video editing software and using all of the different effects and transitions to build a foundation. However, it'd be a long way before I got as far as I am now. Fast forward a year, and that is when I started my YouTube channel. Using the classic video editing software for an iPad, iMovie. Yeah, I know it's not a good video editing software, but I was a young kid with a dream and barely any skills in the editing department. My length of skills with iMovie was cutting clips, putting in transitions, and, well, that's it. I didn't even know how to use the text tool. It'd be a long time from then before I started using anything close to actual editing software, and even longer until I built a passion for video editing. But every story has to start slow, doesn't it? But now we get into the time to pick it up. I guess that I really started to get into video editing around 2015 when I found out about a different video editing app for the iPad. This one was called CuteCut Pro. Now this app, even though it's miles behind anything that I use now, it was still a highly useful editing app and still has some great features you can use for editing. This editing software got me to my start and helped me create some of my first videos that I would consider barely presentable to close friends in a situation in which we want to show something embarrassing about ourselves. Like seriously, everything before that was even worse than that. Anyways, the editing really picks up around here. I record videos, edit them, learn stuff, upload, rinse and repeat, and all of a sudden you have someone who can edit videos. It really picked up in early 2016 when my grandparents gave me an old Dell computer. Like, I mean Windows XP old. This was also when I found out about the software Sony Vegas. Now, I was a broke 11-year-old with no money, so let's just say I did some stuff I shouldn't have, went to a certain website, and only ended up with Sony Vegas 9. But that was enough for me to build my editing skills, so I really just used CuteCut Pro for everything except for like special videos that I wanted to use my Blue Yeti or I wanted to film a computer game. This changed when I got my Linux laptop. This thing actually taught me how to use an editing software, and that editing software was called Kdenlive. Now, I would recommend it as the first editing software if you're on Linux, but if you're not, literally there are so many editing softwares that I would recommend starting with that are free. It wasn't the best, but it did teach me the skills I needed to begin editing. Splitting clips, adding music, editing audio, adding text, basic motivation, Oh, and did I mention I made one of those We Are Number One edits when that was popular?
We are number one!
And all of this stuff was happening in a year. However, that December, as a Christmas gift, I would finally get the one thing I wanted, and that would cause me to learn a new video editing software and completely start from scratch. So I guess this is where I start to get good. So, on Christmas of 2016, I got a brand new gaming computer. Meaning that since at that point Kdenlive was a Linux exclusive, I had to take my efforts into relearning Sony Vegas. It was difficult, but at least at this point I was able to get my hands on Sony Vegas Pro 14. So, the first video I did edit on my new computer was, sadly, a Roblox video. I know. I'm just as disappointed as you, and I could have sworn the first video I edited with Sony Vegas 14 was a video on a Minecraft Prisons server, but I guess not. However, in my Prisons video, I learned time-lapsing, changing the music volumes. Even though I learned all of that stuff, at this period I was extremely lazy with editing, and sometimes released just completely unedited videos. They could oftentimes be 20 to 30 minutes of just gameplay, and would barely be interesting for 5 minutes if edited down. It wasn't really until the god-awful Minecraft Machinima series I made called Survivalcraft that I really took the time to learn some of the basic aspects of editing videos. We're talking cuts, time-lapses, keyframing, music, layering videos, fading, the whole shebang. Even after that though, except for a few videos, I did go for vastly unedited content. However, with every video that I actually tried to put some little modicum of effort into editing, I learned something new and got better with Sony Vegas. So now, we have to fast forward all the way to late 2017, in which I made a video called Why Are There So Many Hurricanes? And this was my step into making satirical videos. Now this one was on people who give like ridiculous conspiracy theories like Illuminati controls everything and stuff like that. God, that video made so many people mad. But this video was a very skeletal design of my modern videos, you know, with the main background image, background music, a few images put on top. It's not a masterpiece, but it definitely was the beginnings of my editing style. I could honestly talk for hours about each video that formed my channel and editing style, but I don't have enough time for that. So let's just quickfire each video that has influenced my style and how it has influenced my style. The history of Xbox consoles. Although it didn't teach me anything, it really did refine my skills. The 5 meme videos I made. It taught me proper keyframing and how to layer clips properly. PUBG funny moments. Taught me adding clips into the video that made sense, and that stupid thing where I cut music and I do it way too much and really need to stop. That DearFitMC video. God, that video just told me how to make edits be way more smooth and look way nicer. History of blank in under 10 minutes. It really just improved on every single thing I learned with Sony Vegas. And that is really where I am now. Over this time I've upgraded from Sony Vegas 14 to Sony Vegas 16, a choice I am glad I made, and I improved my editing skills a lot and got them down. From making the edits be smooth, to making the edits look good, there are just so many mistakes I made with editing that cause it to look low quality and have the cuts be just so abrupt. However, I was able to improve on that and give these videos a consistent pace. Thank you for hearing my story of editing, and I hope this can help others out. Of course, I cannot finish this video without crediting my major inspirations to push my editing as far as I can with this video, which are Mahalo My Dude, Otakuversus, and Sam Colder. These 3 channels are the channels I aspire to be as good at editing as them. They just simply know their software, and I wish I could be just as good as them. But that comes with time, doesn't it?